You talk about a strategy not being plans and tactics. So explain to us what it isn't and what it should be according to law practice.
Very good question. In professional services firms, especially where I focus my strategy endeavors, I'd like to think that strategy is not doing more, it's doing what matters most. And so many firms think that they increase their value by doing more, by trying to be a one-stop shop, serving everyone. And there's the old saying, if you try and sell or serve to everyone, you end up selling to no one. Because where are you actually of such high value that I would pay a premium to ask you to help me? Because that's where strategy lies. Is, as David Maister of Harvard, who wrote the book Managing the Professional Services Firm, said in the 80s already, this is common sense in many ways, but I certainly didn't know it, and I'd like to think that some of my clients perhaps also never learned this. And he defines strategy as developing a set of actions. There's that word again, actions, not talk or theory, actions, that makes your firm's services more valuable in the eyes of your clients than your competitors. And that's his definition. So you asked what strategy isn't. Strategy is not tactics. There's a wonderful book called The Art of War by a Chinese military general called Sun Tzu. He says, tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Strategy without tactics is the slow route to victory. What he's saying is that you cannot simply rely on tactics, working harder, working in your firm. You have to work on your firm or your practice and work smarter and focus on the important things that will shift the needle instead of the urgent things that just make you spin round and round, wheel spinning. And so he says you need tactics to accelerate the strategy, but you first have to have a strategy, and a strategy is not a plan. And in the description below, I'll include a brilliant video by Roger Martin, another guru in the field of strategy, corporate strategy that is. And his video says a strategy is not a plan, or a plan is not a strategy. And please do watch the video. He's not just an academic, he actually helped a very significant firm, Procter & Gamble, over a period of 10 years to craft and implement a game-changing and a world-beating strategy. It's a very significant firm in the US and all over the world, Procter & Gamble. So it's not tactics, it's not plans, it's developing a set of actions that will immediately enhance the value in the eyes of your clients, of your services, when compared to competitors. And that involves taking steps and accepting that the market does not need to respond the way you thought it. The market will respond the way it chooses to. You have to be agile enough to iterate, because strategy is an iterative process, and to gain intelligence and feedback from the market, and then say, well, what I thought the market would do is actually not. And then you build something that the market wants. That's where you win. Looking at the world through the eyes of your client, not through the eyes of your service or your company. Because your client doesn't have to validate your business model. Your client is the person, the stakeholder in the equation that needs to be served and needs to see value. And the client will only see value if you can differentiate yourself from amongst your competitors. And you do that by developing actions and taking one step at a time and implementing those actions, or at least the first most important one.